or an immediate sort of hurt. It's someone who hurts and may be lashing out for whatever reason. So it might be your sibling whom you just had a fight with. That person may have been hurting, right? And then you had a fight with your sibling, with your friend who was hurting, and it nags at you because you recognize that in this instance you could have asked why they're acting this way rather than like sort of lashing back out at them. Rather than lashing back out at them, the harder thing would have been to sort of calm down and see why they're upset. But we don't do that because our lives are not perfect either, and we have our own like concerns and issues, and we need our own like support as well. So the hurting Jesus becomes a bit of a nuisance. It's like, come on, man, like I have no space in my life to actually accommodate also for your hurts. No matter how much I care for you, but there should be lines like, I know you're hurting, but I'm hurting too, and you know, we gotta work this out, but not with me giving too much of myself, because I can't. I do not have space. Right? Like, oh, that's like my storage is full, I can't. Which is, some people may argue, well, sometimes it's healthy to say, well, I can't at this point deal with the hurts of another person. And that's a different story, right? Like when it becomes a sort of like actual emotional burden to be dealing with your hurts and the hurts of others, that's a different story. But sometimes the person who's hurting only needs someone to listen. Not someone to deal with their issues, but someone to listen to their issues. Or needs someone to understand. Like even if they don't listen, someone to be like, I know you're lashing out because of what you're going through. It's okay. It's okay. And sometimes that becomes too much for us, and we miss a chance. We miss a chance. Like we lose friendships or we get into arguments, and when we think back, we think to ourselves, why could I have not taken 2 extra minutes to just calm down and say it's okay? That's the second mischance. The third mischance is the knocking Jesus. So the knocking Jesus can be someone who's actually literally just like coming up to you and saying, hey, I need help, or hey, can you help with this? Can you help with that? Can you support with this? Or it could actually be Christ himself, the Lord Christ himself knocking. And that's sort of the last mischance we talk about. I'm lying in bed, about to go to sleep, and like instead of like saying a little prayer, instead of like doing like my reading that I have planned to do in the Bible, I decided to watch my show. And my show matters, okay? Because it's the finale today, so it matters. And like, God is gonna understand. Like, God like doesn't like, count on me all those little things. He doesn't, but it's not about that. It's about like a bit of honesty within ourselves to not miss the chance to hear God knocking on our door. Because the longer and longer we ignore the knocks, the heavier our ears become. And it becomes a matter of like one noise being lost among the sea of noises that we're surrounded with all the time. And it's such a soft knock sometimes that it's like, is he even knocking anymore? I don't think he's knocking anymore. I think I'm at this stage where he has said,